What's up? What's up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. NBA Talk with Jay and the Shark, man. Go and follow my guy on Twitter at Sharks in Sports. You can follow me as well at J Money is Money. We were pretty hot, man. We were pretty hot. My guy Shark wasn't on the show yesterday. I had the Mavs, man. They didn't cover it. It's cool. Luka didn't play. Still had a shot to win, man. But however, man, it's a lot to game. It's a lot of games on the board today. We straight business, Shark. We got 5 spots that we're honing in on. Let's get to it, Shark. What's up with you? How was your weekend?
Great weekend, obviously capping the NBA, something we love to do. Great social weekend, a lot of stuff going on, holidays. We hope everybody had an excellent weekend. But we are here, we are centered, we are focused. My favorite Monday, November 22nd, 2021, 10-game NBA card. A lot of angles to look at. 4 officials from me, a bunch of leans as well. I think a lot of good angles on these games. And oftentimes, yesterday we look back, it wasn't a great board, a lot of razor-sharp lines, some just chalk specials, oftentimes off of what is a difficult board. The next one is very good. Great matchups, great spots, great numbers, great narratives, and J Money is Money. Lead the way.
Yes, sir, guys. Everybody, if you can, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a show. Also, post your picks in the chat, man. Let's cash together. You know how we do it. Post those bets. We're looking at them. We're trying to cash with you guys as well, man. First game up. Let's go to it, man. We got the Hornets versus the Wizards here, right? So Hornets were red hot. They were at the house. They're going on the road here now. Wizards. I'll tell you guys, I watched this game versus the Heat. This team was down 16. I see something different with the Wizards right now, especially at the house. They're like a baby Hogs at the house. They play a lot better defense. Their offense is a lot more congruent as well. These guys are balling out. Beal obviously has been on lackluster Wizards teams for years to come. He has a squad now, right? I mean, they're not just top of the East, but he's happy right now. He has some ballers over. They're playing defense. They have a bench. They have a coach. The Wizards are playing right now. I took them first half full game, revenge game versus the Hornets here. They're not getting held to 87 points. They're coming off a big win, but I think they keep that streak going today. Give me the Wizards here early and often here, Shark. Could you talk me off?
I could not. Setting the table, I will continue. Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C., 7 p.m. Home team, Washington Wizards, -4, 1 unit official. Jay said it, I'll continue. Revenge game, 97-87, which we had correctly with Charlotte. Line functionality does matter. Charlotte laid a strong -1 at home. This comes across at -3.5. It should be 2 for stock. This is showing the strength we want. Washington is actually 0-4 ATS against the Hornets dating back to last year. The final game of last year, we touched on this when we discussed the Charlotte side going back to last week. They did win 115-110 and a -6.5. They did get blown out by Charlotte, actually, on a Charlotte -4.5 in the middle of last season. And again, that speaks to the momentum that Washington carried into the playoffs last year and has sustained coming out in this early season 21-22 campaign. And we've talked about this day after day. Washington should crater downward at some point. I don't think it comes at home. I don't think it comes in the division. I don't think it comes in a revenge game, which is ripe in their mind. And take you back to the last game. That was a one-off revenge game in the division against Miami. Now you get a 2-off. It's recent history in their mind. And you look at what Charlotte does on the road. Their only covers come as favorites against bottom feeders. Cover at Cleveland. Of course, I don't know if you can call Cleveland a bottom feeder now, but in the early season, second game of the year, I think they were classified as that. And then, of course, a cover, which we had correctly, at Orlando. This is just not where they function well. And I think when you see the Wizards crater, it will come on a 4-game trip they go on after this game to New Orleans and some other uninspiring Western teams. But staying course, 7 p.m., Washington Wizards, -4, 1 unit official.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on this. This is one that I bet overnight. I know that there won't be any late, BS where, I mean, anyone could be out some health and safety protocols, but I know that the Wizards want to win this game. I watched the game versus the Heat. Like I say, down 16, there's a much better defensive team that they faced in the Heat. And I know that their offense isn't necessarily the same on the road, but the Wizards played a good defensive team. Like you say, they got their revenge from the Heat. I think they get their revenge now. They talked about in the post-game press conference, hey, now we got to go and get back the Hornets. They just lost, like I say, got held to 87 points, man, the season low. The Wizards will come back with something here. I like the team. I like the bench. I like the way these guys been playing at the house, and I perfectly agree with my guy Shark. When they go on their road trip, they may have some letdowns there, but here at the house, they turn up at the house. It's almost like the Hawks as well, man. Speaking of, let's go to the next game, man. Let's go to the streets of Atlanta. The Hawks have been taking care of us, guys. They have. They're on this homestand, right? They're a really good home team. They've been at the house. They've gotten hot. They're shooting the ball well all of these good things. They do head out on the road after today, but regardless, they go up against the Thunder, man. The Thunder on the last game of this road trip, if I'm not mistaken, regards to that, 2-6 on the road. They've been playing well. SGA questionable here. Thunder likely, you know what I'm saying, kind of just mailing this. I'm not going to say they're mailing the game in, but with SGA being questionable and him likely, I can't say he's likely not playing, but why they put him on the injury report? You see what I'm saying? I like the Hawks here early, Shark. You know I'm doing. They're at the house. They're comfortable on these goals. I took them first quarter, first half. I'm not going to go official with it. It's some smaller plays, but this is what I like in the game. I really like a trifecta spot here, Shark. I think the Hawks clean them up here from start to finish.
Couldn't disagree. State Farm Arena, home locker room. Atlanta -11. Got this last night. The official line for me is -11. It is 11.5 now. What we're looking at here again is just Atlanta at home. We said it's they're world beaters at home, and they're world beaters against everybody, contenders and bottom feeders alike. Speaking of bottom feeders, the Thunder are somehow 5-0 ATS on the road, their last 5. They're also coming in here off back-to-back backdoor covers at Milwaukee and Boston, which is a key point. They weren't really competitive in those games. Boston and Milwaukee could have beat them by 30 points easily, just took their foot off the gas. Atlanta does not take their foot off the gas at home. Look at a game against Detroit, a blowout, a game against Orlando, a blowout. And again, Atlanta is still far below their average on the campaign at 8-9 straight up. They need to show up and win these games with authority. And I think you just catch a real dead zone travel spot for Oklahoma City on the third game of a little Eastern Conference swing here off, again, 2 covers. Really tough travel point, and it's just what Atlanta does. Final point on this, the line is all over Atlanta. Atlanta did win 118-93 against Oklahoma City at home last year in a revenge game. They actually lost in Oklahoma City on a -8. We always talk about this. When you win and then they move the line further towards you, not towards the revenge environment, even when you are smoking hot, Atlanta Hawks, they're telling you this is going to be a blowout. I think this game is between 15 and 25, and Atlanta -11 official.
Yeah, this one could definitely get ugly, my guys. We know SGA, he is the best player by far on the Thunder over there. Just the fact that I see him on the injury report period just kind of tells me that they'll rest him up here. They know that this is a Smack City game, and they're, you know what I'm saying? They played a couple good games. They know they're not going to win. Really been winning too many games, if you ask me. The Thunder actually they're not a bottom feeder anymore, but they have been a bit overperforming, especially against the spread as well. I think this one gets away from them. Hawks are hot at the house. I see a trifecta spot from the Hawks here, to be honest with you. I see them boys starting off early, exactly like they've been doing against everyone else, and definitely going ahead and getting this one over with by halftime, my guys. So I see a trifecta Smack City spot by the Hawks here. Let's go to the streets of Chicago here, man. We're going to Pacers versus the Bulls here. The Bulls, obviously, on the back-to-back, they took care of business last night. They covered by a half point over the Knicks there, but a cover is a cover. Now this line was at 3.5 last night. It's down to 3 here with a lot of the percentages on the Bulls here, man. That's a little scary here, Shark. What do you think? You thinking the sharp take here, the Pacers? What are we doing here?
Absolutely. United Center. We're going to the visitors' locker room. +3.5. I got this again last night. Indiana, an official take. You look at Indiana, 2-9 here on the road, but look at a lot of these environments. A lot of really tight losses. 1-point losses, 1-point non-covers, fourth quarter melts, 10 points against the Knicks where they were right there. All sorts of stuff. If there's a bye team in the sport, I point you directly to the Indiana Pacers. They are 7-11 on the campaign and 2-9 on the road with a +0.4 point per game differential. We talk about this in all sports. The point per game differential tells you oftentimes a better story than the win-loss record, and it tells you they should improve drastically. Of course, coaching change, some injuries early season, but I think you come in here and you look at what's going on here in the matchup in the division. The line does matter. Last year, Indiana went into Chicago and won with authority early season, 125-106. So again, they know they can do it. They see the hoop well in the United Center, -6 Indiana. Then it came home Indiana, -4.5, where it should have come up 3-9. So it shortened up significantly. Chicago revenged them 120-112 in overtime. Then Chicago went into Indiana again and won convincingly 113-97 on a -2. So the line kept moving to Chicago. They covered both and won outright. Now, 2 road coming home, 3.5. It's only 1.5. It should be 5, 5.5, 6. It's short for a reason. Chicago comes in here in a really tough spot. 3rd and 4 home back-to-back off a travel spot and a high yesterday getting there by a hook against the Knicks. I think Indiana has been close all year. Double revenge game in the division, full fatigue, and numbers checking all the boxes. Indiana plus 3.5 official play.
I like it, my guy. I like it. Absolutely nothing from me on this one. I hope you. As always though, hope you cash on this one. It's not that I don't like the Pacers. It's just that I don't care to. This isn't one of my strong spots today, man. So I'm only talking about strong spots of my own here. Let's get to the next game. We're going to the streets of Utah here. We're going to the streets of Utah. We got the Grizzlies versus the Jazz. Obviously, we hopped on the Timberwolves last game, first half, full game. Should have hopped on the first quarter as well. Absolutely smack city spot. Now the Grizzlies now, and I'll tell you this, guys. I'll be perfectly honest with you. You usually want to hop on that team that got smacked. These motherfuckers was down by 50 at one point in the game. You usually want to hop on them the next game, especially me catching double digits. I know the Jazz are hot. I know it's tough to bet against them at the house. The Grizzlies necessarily hadn't been they're really actually one of the worst teams when it comes to defending the three-point line. I think they know that, though, at some point you're going to practice on nothing but defending the three-point line. All right, we're going to give up twos. Make sure they don't get hot from three. Royce O'Neal, Joe Ingles, Jordan Clarkson, Donovan Mitchell. Be nice to have Dylan Brooks in this one. I do think he's doubtful, but I'm taking obviously the playoff revenge. I'm always going to take it, especially in that first game since the playoff. What's called the Grizzlies went up 1-0, then they lost all four of their other games, which they were supposed to. Jazz supposed to get them. I think that the Grizzlies come out with something here, come out with some fire, regardless of this being playoff revenge. Like I say, just got smacked by 50 in Minnesota. Probably was a look ahead game to this one. I think they bring it here in Utah, my guys. Give me Jazz first half plus the 6, full game plus 10. I want to take the first quarter as well, plus 3.5 or the money line. I think they're going to be up early in this game, and the Jazz will actually have to come back and win this game by 4 or 5 points. But I think the Grizzlies come out here with a really representative effort here, Shark, in Utah, in altitude. We're probably looking ahead to this one. What are we doing, my guy?
Well, just to clarify, Jay just said he's taking Jazz plus 6 and Jazz
plus 10. No, I'm the Grizzlies. My bad. I'm taking the Grizzlies.
I think Jay's sending the good vibes to Memphis here. Maybe they should be laying 6 points in the first half.
I think they're going to be up.
But truly, what you're looking at here, we have a lot of data to go on with these teams, and I don't think the line is necessarily your component point to capping this game. It's more so the environment and the motivation of the spot. We go back to last year in the playoffs. Memphis did steal game 1 in Utah. Also go back to the regular season last year. Memphis did cover 117-114 on a similar plus 9 figure in Utah. Then they played a COVID back-to-back and got hammered the next game. Also in the playoffs, home game 2 for Utah against Memphis. They hammered them. And I was talking to Jay about this off the record. Utah's a tough travel spot. It's also tougher for a young group of guys to hang out overnight in a hotel. What's going on? Is there energy? It's definitely not a big city environment, really, as far as I know. And the demographic is definitely vastly different. Utah has a notorious crowd in terms of just pure antagonism. And I think that antagonism doesn't necessarily apply to all the people on the street, but I do think it's an uncomfortable hangout spot for a lot of these guys in Utah. And I think that's why they don't play well in the second game. But I think the first game, get off the plane, go straight to the stadium. There's no peripheral riffraff here. And I think they stay super focused and centered. And I said this before we took Minnesota the other night to absolutely hammer them, 138-95. This is a major look-ahead spot. It's a playoff revenge spot. It's a quadruple revenge spot. They did go up 1-0 in that series and lose 4 straight. I believe they are 0-4 last 4 ATS against Utah. But again, having covered game 1 in the playoffs and game 1 in the regular season, I think this is a great spot. I'm not officially on this. I might throughout the day, but as I finalize my board, I'm not officially on this. However, I'm not telling you guys this is not a great take. This is a very, very good take, and I might add this officially as the day goes forward.
Yeah, Grizzlies first half plus 6 for me. Grizzlies full game plus 10. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I know that the Jazz, they're high at the house, but they showed some vulnerabilities. I believe the Pacers went there and smacked these boys up. So the Grizzlies, I'm definitely on the more motivated team. I'm getting double digits. I'll ride with this one regardless, my guys. I always tell people it's only one unit. We're not nothing is guaranteed, guys. I always tell you that, even though I absolutely love this play, nothing is guaranteed. But I'm on the Grizzlies today plus the 10, my guys. Let's go to the last game before we get the last one of our main spots before we talk about some of the other games. 76ers versus Kings here. They fired Luke Walton. Simple. They fired Luke Walton. They're going to get a shot in the arm here, my guys. This line is coming down. It's at -2 now. I understand the Philly love. You could argue that Philly's a better team, but right now I think the Kings going to come out here blazing. This was one of the games that I had circled for today. I hadn't bet it yet. I mean, it's only going down, right? I think the Kings come out here with a representative effort at the house. They've been at the house for a few games as well. So this is one of what I'd say. What we doing? We hopping on the home teams when they've been at the house for a while. These guys hadn't been hot. They weren't motivated. They playing for a lame duck coach. Dudes out there throwing up on the court and stuff. That's when we knew it's over for Walton. He's out of there. New coach here, Shark. This is new. Something you want to do when the coach gets fired. You want to hop on that team, Shark. I'm pretty sure I'm playing the Kings -2. Pretty sure.
Yeah, 10 p.m. Golden 1 center. This is a Golden 1 play. Home team -2.5. And there's just no way of looking at this. You look at the boxes that can be checked. Let's go through them. Number one, of course, Luke Walton held this team in purgatory for over 2 seasons. Just not a motivator of men. And we talked about this last year. Definitely some personalities on this team. Buddy Hield's a personality. De'Aaron Fox is an extremely passionate guy. Marvin Bagley, I don't really know much about him. I think he's a cerebral guy. Obviously, there was some riffraff with the parents on Twitter last year, all sorts of stuff. But the type of stuff that a professional coach would lock it in. And Luke Walton never locked it in with this group. And we talked about this numerous times, but I think this team has the type of talent that can turn up like the Hawks did last year when they switched coaches and went on a sustained run to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not saying they're going to go to the West Finals, but I will tell you one thing. Tonight is a great buy spot. Double revenge game, great line functionality. Last year, Philly laid 4.5 points in Sacramento and won 119-111. They also backdoored that game. They were down going into the fourth quarter and won the fourth quarter 32-20. So again, we talk about how the loss went down. Sacramento was highly competitive there and got backdoored. Now you flip to where Sacramento plays well in this campaign as a home favorite off 2 blowout losses. Of course, we said this, they might compete against Toronto. Toronto had lost 6 of 7 coming in. Toronto had peak motivation in that spot. Philly is a hard buy here, man. This is a brutal spot for Philly. They're in the middle of a long road trip with injuries, coming in off 2 representative efforts for them at this point, an outright win, which we suggested would happen at Denver, and then a real scrappy non-cover type of game at Portland. They also finish up this pre-Thanksgiving sample at Golden State in a national game on Wednesday night. Talk about a trap, funky, brutal spot. And the Sacramento Kings have showcased the ability to turn up, again, even with Luke Walton, on these line figures at home against the East. I direct you directly back to the game, which we had correctly, against the Charlotte Hornets, 140-110, a blowout. This team has the skill, the talent, the jolt, the number, and the fade spot of an awful position for Philly on this calendar. This is a great take. This is not some sort of autopilot bias by the coaching change take. It's numerical, and it is multifaceted on a narrative backing point. Sacramento -2.5 official.
Yeah, and them firing the coach only makes it even better. I'm glad with my guy in the says Bruno says Kings have all the talent, don't know what the F is going on with this team. Exactly. They had the talent, and that's when you want to take the team when they've been underperforming under the coach. Obviously, just anyone firing a coach. The Pistons could fire their coach today, and they're still the same Pistons team. You know what I'm saying? So the Rockets could probably fire their coach. Well, it's a little bit different with this. Almost the same thing with the Rockets, a whole nother conversation. But with the Kings, you have a great team. They've been underperforming. They have a lame duck coach. They didn't want to play for a guy. I've been telling you this the past few weeks, but regardless, it's finally happened. I think it's going to transpire to a win today. The 76ers aren't the greatest road team, regardless. Huge look ahead to the Warriors, all this long road trip. All this, my guys. We like the Kings tonight. I'm taking a -2, that's for sure. Let's get to some other games here, Shark. The one more that I had that I was possibly going to take. Obviously, it's tough to fade the Suns right now, but they did leave the house. They were at the house for a while. This is the first game on the road. Come off a big game yesterday. I was thinking it was going to be a lot closer game. Obviously, they smacked the shit out of them, so they got to rest their starters, but it's still a road back-to-back. You're laying points versus Spurs. Got 3 days off. They had a mini vacation. You see what I'm saying? The much more rested team. They're catching points at the house as the home dog here, Shark. What do you any looks on this Suns versus Spurs game?
I want to take the Spurs here. I'm just not doing it. I don't like the line. I think the line is in that hover zone, that 3 possession, 5.5, 6, where we're going to be purely gambling on the number. I mean, you go back to yesterday, not this game, but look, 5.5 Bulls, 109, 103. I said it the other night when Philly went into Portland and they were laying 6. I said this is going to be between 4 and 7. I think this game is going to be between 4 and 7. I think you're purely gambling when you take this side. Of course, you want to take San Antonio, double revenge game. They did lose back-to-back games at home to Phoenix last year to end this season. Of course, rosters do change over. People in the chat, again, saying it has nothing to do with it. We welcome you guys. Clearly, you haven't been listening for the last month. But this is how we cap over 10 to 15 years of NBA basketball, because professional odds makers tabulate the averages of these teams against each other. Yes, there are new coaches. Yes, there are new players. Yes, environments change, but that's all tabulated into a walking numerical average that moves. It's very important to know. You need to know nothing about the sport of basketball to look at numerical average tracking. And ultimately, when you come in here, the final game of last season, Phoenix did lay 2 points with, again, a deflated roster, and they won by 2 points, 123 to 121. So again, when you win by 2, it's telling you a story that Vegas has a handle on these numbers between these teams, and they bump it up to 6. It's just showing enough strength. I think Phoenix could get there. I think, unfortunately, Spurs were just a little hot early season. They're just very lackluster right now. Of course, their last big effort did come in a similar position in a revenge game against the Kings, I believe. Actually, it was not a revenge game, but it was just a one-off where they went nuts and scored 136 points. But moral of the story is this is a tough game to cap. I think you're very dependent right now on the energy of the Suns, whether they can sustain this or not. And also, can the Spurs hit their shots? They're one of those teams that are really falling into that category of all or nothing from 3 and just shot selection, where, again, they'll drop 136 points on the Kings because they hit everything that night, but then they can't score on another night. So you're just at the mercy of massive variance with this Spurs roster right now.
Yeah, they finally got their center back, Jakob Poeltl, as well, so there's something to look out for. He finally had a game under his belt. They had 3 days off as well, so the rest factor is actually pretty huge here. I think that's why you see that line. It was up to 6, it's down to 5.5. Obviously, this is an uninspiring team. If the Suns don't super get up here, their win streak could be snapped here. It's Spurs or nothing for me here with the home dog. It's the only way that I would look in this game. Next game up, Sharp, we got to speed up a little bit. Like I said, we don't have anything official on it. Let's try to run through it real quick. Timberwolves versus Pelicans. Anything on this one?
This is really tough. Of course, we've been buying the Wolves effectively at home. Now they go on the road. They're scorching hot. And New Orleans is showing signs of being representative at home. I mean, I go back to just last week when they beat the Grizzlies. I think this game could take on a similar environment. It's just all over the place for me. You do get a revenge game for Minnesota. They played back-to-back games in Minnesota early season, 96-89, right on the number there. We had that correctly on a 6.5 to cover. They came back the next night and lost to New Orleans. So New Orleans knows they can beat Minnesota. It's in their mind. They've seen it before. Again, it's just a total toss. You get the revenge game for the Wolves, but then you get the Pelicans here who need this cluster wins. It's just an absolute toss.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pelicans showed me something coming back from 20 to the Clippers and still came back and won the game by double digits. So they really showed me something there. The Pelicans, I must say, like you say, at the house, they are due to come up here. And the Timberwolves will come off a game where they pretty much hit everything. It's not necessarily by spot. If they were at the house once again, they're hot. That's one thing. But going on the road after that big of a win, not necessarily a spot that I'd want to be on for sure. Let's see, a few more games here. We got the Magic versus Bucks. Bucks laying 12.5, and we got the Celtics as well laying 11.5. Nothing for me with double-digit spreads unless I'm taking the points today, Shark. Anything on these two games?
This Bucks game is brutal. Again, you saw what happened the last game. The Magic backdoored them. This is what the Bucks have done for the last 3 or 4 years. They'll come out and hammer a team for 3 quarters, and they just take the guys out and they blow the lead. This could happen again here tonight. And I mean, I can see the Magic even coming in here and potentially winning this game. It sounds ridiculous. I'm not playing it. But you look at what the Magic have done. They've been scrappy on the road all year. It's just one of those spots. Again, Milwaukee needs to win games, but I don't think you're going to get a big effort here from Milwaukee. Definitely not an official play. Please don't put your money on this game, guys, if you want to sustain any sort of actual long-term growth. This is just brutal to cap.
Yeah, my one guy in the chat was telling us put our house on the Bucks. So hey, we'll see how that works out. It is like the back-to-back home spot, but hey, he says J Money and Shark, go put your house on the Bucks. So apparently he really likes it. Rockets versus Celtics, and then Nets versus Cavs. My guy, absolutely nothing for me on neither one of the guys. We on neither one of those games. You got the top spots for me, Shark.
Yeah, Brooklyn is a tough travel. They are 0-3 ATS last 3 all at home. They haven't played particularly well against Cleveland in any format. Cleveland's one of those teams, if you just watch them. I was watching the Dubs game. Of course, the Dubs did get there with that huge backdoor in the fourth quarter. Cleveland really competes. You know, we got JB Bickerstaff in there. I think he's got a handle on this group. I think they really turn up for this guy. And that's a huge point in NBA basketball. Of course, we're just talking about Luke Walton losing the group. When a coach really comes in there and connects, he can elevate the level of a group immensely. And I think that's what you're seeing with Cleveland, even without Colin Sexton. They are really, really flowing, and they compete well on both sides of the floor. That being said, I would like to take Cleveland here in a revenge game, but it's hard to fade the Nets. The Nets have actually been better ATS on the road, and they're coming off an 0-3 ATS sample, and I believe they haven't covered a game against Cleveland in the last 2 seasons. So it's just tough for me.
Gotcha. So Shark, yeah, break them off with those officials, my guys. We'll get out of here.
Absolutely. We'll start at the end of it. We'll go back down the list. 10 p.m.
It's
NBA.
a bunch of
Yeah. NBA TV, Sacramento -2.5. All the aforementioned reasons. We will share this, and you guys can watch it. I don't feel like repeating all of it. Where else are we going? Oh, Pacers, absolutely top look of the day, +3.5. Just a great fade of the Bulls. Bulls on a 3rd and 4 back-to-back, off a big win, off a representative road trip, ultimate fatigue spot, 5th in 8 days, double revenge game, line all over the Pacers. Pacers dispersion has to come the other direction. They have a plus point differential on the season per game, but they're down under 4 games under 500. It's by the Pacers, and just love that spot. Wizards revenge game -4. All the points were checked earlier. And Hawks to continue the demolition tour, catching Oklahoma City here, just in a brutal travel spot. 3rd game of a 3-game set, off 2 covers, all East contender games, backdoored both of the previous 2. Atlanta functions great at home as a big favorite as well. I direct you to how they played against Orlando and Detroit. And this is a revenge game for Oklahoma City with the line coming up in strength. So it's just a great spot. Top 4 plays, 9 words of lifestyle. Sharky Waters Nation. Ride the wave. Work it out of the water. J Money is Money. My favorite Monday, November 22nd, 2021. Close them out.
Sorry, guys. Give me the Wizards. Can you hear me, Shark?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Give me Wizards first half full game. Give me the Wizards first half full game. Give me the Kings -2. Give me Grizzlies +6. And full game, and Grizzlies as well, full game +10, man. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, all this stuff, man. I appreciate my guy Shark as well. Every day dominating. Let's cash, man. Let's go undefeated. Like, one time for the one time. Mm-hmm. Go and follow him on Twitter at Sharks in Sports. You can go and follow me on Twitter as well at J Money is Money. Sorry, man, getting the call. Sometimes it messes up my mic and my headphones, all type of shit, man. But let's cash these tickets, man. Let's go undefeated one time per one time. Feel really good about this card. Let's cash together, my guys. Y'all retweet this, leave some comments as well. Let us know what you're betting. If you don't agree with the plays, you don't have to bet them, guys. Brandon, we appreciate you watching, bro. It's not that serious, man. We out, my guys. All positive vibes. Let's cash these tickets.